happening, guys? Welcome to another video. Today I want to take you through an upper chest and lat session. I really want to be going into the ins and outs of what I'm thinking and what I'm doing, you know, to really be optimizing everything and be trying to make as much progress as possible in this off season. My goals are clear in the future. You know, to reach those goals, we can't be leaving anything on the table. So upper chest and lats, we're going to be starting with abs. And I want to be going into all the ins and outs, like I said, the little mindset, the little cues, all the things that I'm implementing, the stuff that Joe's noticing and wants me to improve on. And hopefully you guys can take something away from this, implement into your own training, and we can all grow and progress together. Kneeling cable crunches. Something that people do wrong quite often. Most of the time, people are getting too much movement in the hips. I'm going to give you a demonstration as obviously that I'm doing it, but you don't really want much movement in the hips. You want it all in like the torso. And you're literally just getting a nice big stretch and really driving yourself down. Thinking of just crunching, you know, your upper abdominals. I'll show you the example of how to do it and not to do it, but 3 sets and just aiming to progress in it like everything, you know, trying to build thick abs. Abs were probably a weaker point for me last year when I was competing. We best be getting stronger on them. We best be building thick abs. So as a demonstration, I'm going to show you 2 variations now on how you should be doing it and how you don't really want to be doing it. So in this first one, I'm moving a lot of the hips and I'm really going to take the pressure off where I want it to. So I'm almost pushing my bum back, then crunching down like this, which isn't really what you want. What I like to aim to do is just keep my hips back, and then it's going to be harder to do that. So a lot less movement in the hips instead of coming right back like that. Main cue that people make them stay with. Like I said, 3 sets if I get stuck into it. Things I'm thinking about on the unilateral bench pull down. One thing that I haven't really been doing as much, which I've started doing recently, which has made a good benefit, is I've been keeping my hand to neutral. And what I've started to do is actually supinate my hand. And if you look at my elbow immediately when I do that, you can see my elbow tucks in. And when you're trying to train lats, you want to be driving that elbow down and in. So naturally, by supinating your hand, it allows you to do that more efficiently. The next thing is, I'm just trying to stay in the active range of motion of my lat more. I'm a believer in you want to get a full stretch, potentially getting a bit carried away in too much stretch, like letting my shoulder really come forward. So I'm just trying to stay in the active range of motion of the lat a little bit more. And then the last thing is just really just driving with the elbow and another actually. What we want to try to do is actually lean away a little bit. When we do this, we're actually allowing us to get even more, a little bit of a stretch. So rather than being straight on, I'm literally going to tilt each way a little bit more, and that's just going to allow you to get extra edge motion on the lat. So just have a little watch in these next sets and you'll see all those little bits, how they really add up to getting the most out of this exercise. I'm fed up of listening to this fucking skinny ass 30 behind the camera. Another thing to note, if you are doing unilateral work, and make sure you're giving yourself some rest between it, like treat it like another set. If you're going straight in from your right arm into your left and you're matching reps, you didn't fucking do that set properly. So we've got prime extreme row, another prime machine, usually different loading profiles. So what that means, 3 different pins. So we want to load the exercise what matches our strength profile. Most back exercises, we're strong in the lengthened position and we're weak in the short. So we want to make this bit heavier and this bit lighter so it matches, you know, how strong we are. So to do that, we're going to load the top and middle on the extreme row evenly, and that's going to make that really nice. As we get into this more, I'm going to talk about it. One of the best machines out there in the world for upper back, just because of the loading profile. Going off what I just said before, you know, we know we're growing a lot when muscles are in the stretch position and length position. So because of that, on this exercise, I'm going to make sure I'm getting a nice stretch and I'm really controlling it in the lengthened position. I'm not just using momentum out of it, because that's when we're probably growing most. So we want to spend a good amount of time there, you know, nice and controlled, and then change direction, not just fucking momentum throwing it up. That was a nice set. So hopefully, oh, fuck me, spitting everywhere. Hopefully you guys can see, you know, what I'm trying to do there. Like just good control, spending some time in the stretch position, driving right the way up with the right range of motion. And fuck me, I'm pumped, man. Like my neck, that was a good set. 1 rep up, matched the form on last week. Even went for a few length and partials for the reasons that we just spoke about. Really happy with that set. We are moving straight from back into biceps before even doing any pressing movements. And the reason for that is arms are a priority for me. So if I can get some arm work towards the beginning of the session without taking away from any of my other exercises, and that's something I want to do, you know. Any exercise you do at the end of the session are going to get, you know, less effect. The actual response to hypertrophy is blunted naturally after training for a certain period of time and fatigue. If I can get them in earlier, that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm doing. We're opting for a D handle behind the back curl. Reason why this is good, again, keep going on about left hand positions. Anything we can do to optimize training, we're going to do. So this stretches our arms right back, which means our biceps are already stretched. We're really getting a lot of tension in that lengthened position. So the goal is to keep our elbows behind our torso and hold them there and then curl forward. That way your biceps are in a stretch position already. This creates fucking crazy ass pump when someone does it right. So that was a match on last set. 3 sets in this. First set progressed. This set matched. If I remember, the week before, there was quite a big jump up anyway, so that's good to solidify that. 1 more set, and then we're going to move on to some incline pressing. Again, trying to get as much range of motion as possible. So you can see I'm literally coming right the way down. It's quite a wide machine on this, which has pros and cons, but it does mean you can get your elbows right the way down, you know, fully open up the chest and then drive it through. I've got the incline set on high as possible. Reason being is I'm really trying to hit the clavicular pec, the upper pec. If it's an incline movement for me, it's an incline movement. I'm going to have high incline. So you can see, even though how hard the last rep was, I still controlled it as much as I can on the way down. And that eccentric, you know, it's still causing tears, you're still going to grow from that. So on your last rep, always try to control it as much as you can where it's safe to do so. Another exercise which Joe has critiqued, and he actually wants me trying to use less load, and the reason behind it makes a lot of sense. On these cables, when you start pressing, it kind of gets like really jerky, and you can kind of press through it for like 3 or 4 reps, but the tension is like realistically coming off the chest. So it just wants me to clean it up a little bit more and go for controlled hard reps, if that makes sense. So he doesn't want the last 3 reps fucking looking like this. He wants, you know, it to be pretty consistent still. So it's just trying to take a slightly different approach to it. So it's not moving as much load as I can. It's just doing it in a really, really controlled manner. So moving on to seated tricep dips. What I'm really looking for on this is as much range of motion as possible. A lot of people will kind of just let their elbow hang back and just press down like this. But if you actually see how much change in elbow, you know, elbow flexion I'm getting, it's not that much. So what I'm trying to do is really let my hand come right the way up. And you can see the distance between my hand and my shoulder change so much. It's almost the same as if you was doing a tricep push down. You know, you want to be here and then pressing right the way through. Look how much that arm angle's changing. You don't want to be here and just going like that. So I'm trying to apply the same principle onto this. I'm trying to let it come right the way up, then press through. And it's going to make it a hell of a lot fucking harder. This is honestly a fucking killer, to be honest. I'm behind on food today though. After me and David got stuck in fucking stupid amount of traffic. Even though I live about 10 minutes away, it took me 35 minutes to get here. So we started the session probably, what, like an hour late after we talked to Louis and whatnot. On that note, that'll be something exciting coming soon. I'm sure many of you will know of him, Louis Thornton, a fucking incredibly strong fucker. It's not often that I can genuinely say someone makes me feel like an absolute pussy. And he is one of them people, like ridiculously strong. So we're going to get a session in with him. That should be good fun. That will be pending soon. With your skinny ass virgin photographer, hey, you call us recording. Last exercise, lying puff lateral raise. One of my favorite exercises for the lateral delts, the side of your shoulder. That's really going to create that wide illusion. The reason I like it, it's just a consistent tension. Like the weight doesn't get any heavier or lighter. Whereas if you use like a dumbbell, you know, it's going to get heavier there than it is here. And that's really the wrong place because, you know, we're actually weaker here than we are here. Like if something's further away from your body, then you're weaker. So I really like this. Just 2 sets, and the back off will be a rest pause. So let's finish strong. That is a wrap of upper and arms, I think it's called. Very good session, pretty much progressed everything. Like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, you know, you picked something up. Got any questions, let us know. Well, we're gonna wrap it off there. Cheers for joining, like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you like, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and see you on the next one.